Hi, this is John, and welcome to another edition of Statistics Tell a Story. I'm going to go over my NFC over-under picks in the contest I submitted. Starting in the NFC North, the Lions are 10 and a half. I'm going over. It's interesting. They lose both their coordinators, and in my opinion, the hype over that is a little bit much. I'm I've become a fan of coaches that change the culture, and I think Campbell did that. So the question becomes, what why was their offense so good? And their defense was actually good until late in the year. But was it because of the coordinators, or was it because maybe Dan Campbell instilled a culture where the offenses and defenses could thrive? It seems to me that and we even saw this with Philadelphia. They lose Shane Steichen, but they bring in another offense coordinator. The name escapes me. He went to the Saints, and they win the Super Bowl. So I think it's more about, even though coordinators I think are important, I don't think they're that important. I just love what Dan Campbell's doing in the at Detroit. um, it's funny, you can lose one game and then all of a sudden everybody drops off the bandwagon. So they go 15-2, have a great year. Their defense was gassed, and then they lose again. Only one team can win the Super Bowl. So over under 10 and a half, I just think, Dan Campbell, whatever it takes, biting kneecaps, whatever. I like the over. And that is actually one of my bets. I got it at 10 and a half, minus 120, and I am betting the over. The Green Bay Packers are 9.5. I'm going over. Picking up Micah Parsons certainly doesn't hurt their cause. They've had a solid team, solid coaching, in a tough division, but I'm going over. The Vikings at 9.5. This was a tough one. They had a very good year last year with Sam Darnold. I think their coach O'Connell does a great job. They have a very good offensive line, great defensive coordinator in Brian Flores, and so I was torn, but I'm going under only because JJ McCarthy is an unknown. The Bears were 8.5 in the contest. Um, Team much like New England with a lot of hype. They did revamp their offensive line. I mentioned before, offensive line I think is very important, but there is something also to offensive line continuity that studies have shown. And so, it might take until midseason maybe to start to gel with that. Caleb Williams, while I think he has some upside, is still an unknown. Again, a tough division. A lot of these are tough calls, but I'm going to go Bears under 8.5. In the NFC South, the uh, the Bucks are 9.5. I'm going under. They lost Liam Cohen. Defense isn't very good. Their receivers are banged up. Falcons are 8. I'm going over. I like what I've seen of Michael Penix Jr. They won, was it 8 or 9 games last year? I'm not sure. I think it was 8. With a very bad Kirk Cousins. I think they can only get better. Their offense is pretty good. Offensive line's pretty good. Defense, maybe not so much, but offenses are what win games. I'm going over 8. The Panthers are 6.5. I'm going under. I still don't see it. A really bad defense. Um, their receivers are really below average. Beefed up offensive line, I would call it above average. And Bryce Young still, I just think he's too short. And in a way, he has to overcome two things. It's kind of a parlay of A, he was short. Well, yeah, sure, some short quarterbacks have made it, Drew Brees and others. Although I think Young is maybe 5'10", and every inch matters. The other thing is he had a really bad rookie year, and then he started off the second year bad. And so, how many guys come back from that? Josh Allen did, but Josh Allen he was a big guy, so I think it's easier to do that. So I still think Bryce Young is one of the He's in the bottom 10 quarterbacks in football. I don't see it with the Panthers. It doesn't take much to go over 6.5, but I'm going under 6.5. The Eagles division, the NFC East. Eagles, 11.5. I'm going under. Still a very good team. They lost some pieces on defense. And you never know with the Super Bowl hangover, but I'm going to go under. They did lose their offensive coordinator for what it's worth. Who knows? Commanders. This is my other bet. I'm going to bet this under 9.5. I laid 110. And I think Jaden Daniels is the real deal. A little bit more of a runner than a passer, but still a very good passer. I think he was PFF graded. I know he's in the top five last year, so for a rookie, it was really great. But the rest of their team is average. I think defense, I think, is below average. I think they had a Cinderella year, won some close games, were 20 of 23 on fourth down. That's just not sustainable. So they had some luck go their way. I think they're going to regress, and I'm going under 9.5 as well as betting it. Cowboys are 8. I really don't like what they're doing there. Their offensive line is what used to be a strength is now a weakness. Yeah, I don't know. Schottenheimer's the decision to hire him was a little bit. I'm not sure what. I get the feeling that Dallas is just. I don't want to say packing it in this year, but maybe they're waiting for a reset. I don't know. I'm going under 8. The Giants, 5.5. I'm going to go over. Their defensive line is going to be one of the best in football. Malik Neighbors is a terrific talent. Russell Wilson is serviceable. Ryan Dable still, I think, was he the coach of the year or runner up? I think he might have been coach of the year a couple of years ago. So I don't know that they had a couple down years, but doesn't take much to go over 5.5. So I'm going to go over with the Giants. Um, Sorry, I just realized I forgot the Saints in the Bucks division. Their number is 5. Um, I think they're just really bad. This is another team I think that is resetting perhaps. No quarterback. They fell apart at the end of last year. They have like 50 million in dead cap money, and so I'm going to go under 5. I think they'll be the worst team in football, either them or the Browns. Okay, and then in the West, the 49ers are 10.5. Thought a lot about this one. I decided ultimately to go over. Of course, they had a bad year last year. They did have a lot of injuries, some close losses. They actually had decent metrics on both sides of the ball. The reason I was a little bit leery is if you break down each of their positions, their defense is good. I don't know that it's as good as that some experts make it out to be. Offensive line above average. I don't think it's stellar. Their receivers are banged up. McCaffrey, we don't know what to expect from him. And Purdy, we really don't know what to expect of him either. I mean, is he a system quarterback or a guy that's just a raw talent? So far the returns would suggest he's maybe more of a system quarterback. Clearly a good team. What ultimately decided for me to go over was they have at least projected by FTN, the weakest schedule in football. The Rams are 10. I'm going under. I love Sean McVay, but Matthew Stafford is 37 now. He's just really banged up. I'm not sure he's going to last the year. A solid team, but I'm going to go under 10. Cardinals are 8.5. I'm going to go over. I think they've improved from 2 years ago to last year. I think they're going to continue to improve. Decent offensive line, decent defense, below average schedule. I like their receivers. James Conner seems to be ageless for whatever reason, and I'm going to go over 8.5. Seahawks, another one I thought a lot about, 7.5. They won 10 last year, and I last year actually I didn't do it on this telecast. I told some friends that Sam Darnold was going to have a surprise year. It's easy for me to say that now. But anyway, if you look at the metrics last year, I think he thrived because of O'Connell's offense, and he actually was not good under pressure. Seattle has a very weak offensive line. So I think Darnold's going to turn into a pumpkin this year. Slightly above average schedule. Very tough decision. One of my last decisions, I ultimately ended up going under 7.5. But a lot of these are coin flips. What are you going to do? So I'm going to post all of these. Again, these are all my contest picks. I did the AFC yesterday. So hope you enjoyed this. If you have not hit liked or subscribe, please do so. It's much appreciated. Tell your friends, and I will see you next time on Statistics Tell a Story. Thank you.